This week I wrote this email to the members of the Utah Legislature's Criminal Justice Appropriations Subcommittee, and I thought some of you might find the subject interesting. The subject line of the email was, "Please fund courtroom live streaming." And I wrote, "I'm writing to ask you that you support the $450,000 one-time funding request to enable live streaming of district court proceedings statewide. Live streaming public court proceedings is a logical extension of the First and Sixth Amendments in a digital age. It expands access to justice, promotes transparency, and strengthens institutional trust. The benefits of live streaming are many. Increased transparency. It provides public access to proceedings to those who cannot physically travel to the courthouse and reinforces the judiciary's legitimacy in that way. Greater accountability and deterrence of misconduct. Judges, court personnel, prosecutors, defense counsel, plaintiffs, and litigants tend to act more responsibly under public scrutiny. Public visibility helps prevent abuses of discretion and encourages ethical conduct. The educational value. Live streaming allows students, journalists, and the general public to better understand courtroom procedures and legal reasoning. Equal access for all media. This prevents monopolization of access to the courts by legacy media outlets and offers a public interest alternative to selective reporting. Preservation of the record. High-quality video creates an unalterable and reviewable record for training, appeal, or audit purposes. Civic engagement. It fosters informed public discourse about the justice system. There are many reasonable-sounding objections to live streaming, reasonable sounding, but in the almost 10 years I've been covering public court proceedings with UFL-TV, I have yet to see any of them arise. Nevertheless, to address common objections, legitimate or not, to live streaming of public court proceedings, here we go. Witness intimidation. Courts already use protective measures such as sealing pseudonyms, closed sessions to protect vulnerable witnesses. Live streams can be paused or restricted when needed. Jury contamination, jury instructions, voir dire screening, and sequestration procedures already protect against outside influence. Live streams don't create new risks, only new formats. Privacy concerns? Well, personal or sensitive information is already managed through redactions, sealing orders, and protective protocols. These safeguards are fully compatible with live streaming. Grandstanding. Judges retain full control over courtroom decorum and can sanction performative behavior, whether it's being live streamed or not. Public visibility often reduces gamesmanship, not increases it. Sensationalism. Unedited live streams help counteract misleading out-of-context media sound bites. Full visibility is the antidote to distortion, not its cause. Security risks. It is hard to imagine how live streaming could create new serious security problems or exacerbate existing ones, but security concerns can be addressed through a case-by-case discretion, delayed broadcast, and omission of identifying details. Technology does not override courtroom security protocols. Technical glitches aren't a concern either. There aren't that many, and technical limitations are rapidly diminishing. Training, testing, and redundancies ensure reliability. And unequal advocacy presentation. Courtrooms are not theater. A live stream reveals professional gaps that already exist and highlights the need for, and thus encourages, correction, not exploitation. Real fairness comes not from concealment, but from scrutiny. Threat to fair trials? How? Public trials have always been public. That's why they're called public trials. Streaming merely extends that principle in the modern age. The possibility of unfair influence, if any, is mitigated by existing safeguards. Judicial reluctance. Now there's one. Transparency is a democratic obligation, not a discretionary luxury. The apprehension a judge or domestic relations commissioner might feel being subject to more scrutiny through live streaming is understandable, but for all the wrong reasons, and certainly not a reason for less public access or this, as it fades with familiarity, we're not going to worry, as seen in many jurisdictions that have already embraced live streaming. Utah prides itself on being a pioneer in making public court proceedings more accessible to the public. See Utah Code of Judicial Administration Rule 4, 401.01. And this is an opportunity for it to put its money where its mouth is. If you have any questions about my experiences with live streaming and with making public court proceedings more accessible and accountable to the tax-paying public, I would be happy to answer or discuss them further. If you support live streaming of public court proceedings yourself and want your representatives in the state of Utah Legislature to support it, start by notifying the committee members. I've provided their legislative email addresses in the description section of this video.